someone who has gotten more information on Entergy. Entergy held a conference call a little while ago. Our Rachel Handley joins us now. And Rachel, you had told us, as far as Entergy was concerned, and looking at what the culprit was as a result, like what caused the widespread outages, you say that they were saying that it's not an infrastructural problem. Mainly, it's a matter of downed trees and whatnot that's to blame.
What they had said specifically was that transmission was not the main driver of the majority of these outages. It was vegetation, and that they had expected it to be vegetation, especially because of the drought that we've been having recently. They did say that we're going to get more updates over the next few days. This was a pretty quick phone call with Entergy officials, so we're really hoping to get more clarification on exactly what they mean by that over the next few days, because we do have questions about infrastructure and how that might have contributed to it. And every area is so different that I'm sure parish by parish we're going to end up getting so much more information. But I did want to recap what we heard on that call, because we've been getting so many questions from all of you all morning about power restoration. We know it's probably top of mind for almost everybody. As we said, vegetation, major concern for them both. They were saying in terms of a cause of the outages, and also trying to get to these areas that they have to fix power lines. So we have seen pictures all morning of trees down, as you said, branches, everything. So vegetation, that was their main point, was the vegetation is their kind of at the forefront of this effort right now, trying to work around that. They also said, as you had said, Bree, that they will be prioritizing infrastructure like hospitals, pumping stations, and they also mentioned that they try to fix areas that are going to put the lights back on for as many people as possible. So as I said before, that's something to keep in mind if you live in a really rural area where maybe not that many people are on your same electrical grid, because it could mean that your power will be turned on more slowly than somebody on, say, a busy city block or something. But they did say that that critical infrastructure, those hospitals, pumping stations, those will be first before anything. One other important update we got today was that restoration has started in New Orleans. They said it's moved from the phase of just staging things to actually going out and starting to do some fixes in New Orleans. So that was definitely good news. That was from Entergy New Orleans, which again is a separate body from Entergy Louisiana. Y'all did talk about Lafourche and Terrebonne parishes, and these are definitely the areas that we are paying the most attention to in terms of power outages, and the ones that we've gotten the most viewer questions about in terms of power outages. As y'all said, more than 35,000 still out in Lafourche Parish, and more than 25,000 out in Terrebonne Parish. And Entergy did say that that was because they had the highest winds of any area, and they also mentioned that Jefferson Parish also had a lot of outages because of that, especially the coastal areas of Jefferson Parish. We did ask about specific restoration timelines for Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes, again, because those are the areas that we really are most concerned about at this point. And they said it was day one, just too early to really give any kind of specific timeline for those, but they did give us kind of a broad sketch of what we could expect in terms of this restoration timeline for these really hard-hit parishes. So this is the information that they were able to give.
In general, when we have a Category 1, Category 2 storm, we guide that it could be up to, and I want to stress this is up to, that doesn't mean when customers will begin to be restored, 1 week, and it can be longer, 7+ days for a Category 2 storm. We have a large contingent of workers focused on an area. We'll be putting up additional resources so we can stage those folks directly in that bayou region. We knew that was going to be a challenge with the path of the storm. We also knew vegetation was going to be a significant challenge. Those all came to pass, and so we are prepared to deal with that. We are not able to say how quickly we can get power back on for Lafourche and Terrebonne, some of the hardest hit areas. But we intend to do our assessment as quickly as possible and be able to provide that information to our customers as quickly as possible. We do not anticipate this being an Ida situation where it's extended for a long period of time.
And a couple of other points that they had made on that phone call were safety concerns. The biggest ones being if you see any kind of electrical equipment out or any down power lines, you're being asked to call 1-800-ENTERGY to report those because they can be really dangerous. They also mentioned generators, of course, as people's power is out. They are starting to run those to keep their air conditioning on and power life-saving medical equipment, that kind of thing. We repeat it all the time. You have to make sure that those are not in your house and far enough away where there's no risk of carbon monoxide poisoning because that can be fatal and you can't even detect it. Something they also mentioned, which I thought was interesting because we don't hear this in the context of power outages very often, was scams. They said that in the aftermath of a storm like this, a lot of people will try and take advantage of how desperate people are to get their power back on and try to tell them, if you just pay me some cash right now, I can get your power back on. That's not real. That is a scam. If anybody tries to do that, they also want you to report that at 1-800-ENTERGY, and they want to remind people that they, Entergy, will never ask for money in exchange for them repairing weather-related damage. So that's how you can tell if something is a scam or not. So all good updates on day one of the power restoration, but they did say that they were going to be providing more over the next few days because this is something we'll be watching very, very closely.
Rachel, we do thank you for that breakdown there, as a lot of people do want to know what is going on as far as restoration is concerned.